Wow, look at the sun setting over there. I've had kind of a day. I had to drive the RV about 70 miles round trip today. So I had a minor electrical problem in the RV that I had to go get checked out. I had a fuse in my fuse block that kept blowing. Well, it blew twice, and it kind of freaked me out because I had turned the fan on in the little bathroom area, and all of a sudden it just went out and the lights went out in the back. So I had a feeling that a fuse had blown for some reason, and then I smelled a little bit of that burned plastic smell, which is not good. And I localized that to the light above the bed. So back here in my little bedroom area is where we believe the culprit was. I had an LED in this socket right here, and it appears that it went bad and caused a short, which burned out the fuse. So I went and I pulled the fuse. I tried putting another one in and it blew immediately, so I just pulled it out and I left it out. And I only lost a few lights in the fan. So it wasn't like my water pump or anything like that, right? So I contacted the guy that did my solar install, and he has a shop down about 30 miles south of where I'm at right now. So I made an appointment to go in and have him look at it, right? So I actually got some those little LED lights you can just mount on the wall that are you know, battery operated, and I just put those in a couple of locations to get me by, and those worked pretty well. I'm just gonna leave them there because they work. So yeah, that was a little bit scary. So I drove the RV into Orem. So the RV place that I have to go to is way down there at the end of the valley. It's just like way at the end of the valley down there. Okay, I'm getting ready to head out. I've got about a couple of hours to get out there. And then down there's the road we go down. Right down there. So here we go. So I've got about the guy who did the solar install who's going to check out my electrical system, figure out why that fuse has blown a couple of times. It's about 30 miles south of here. I hear things bouncing around and back, and that always drives me nuts a little bit. So this part of the freeway here in Utah Valley has been under major construction because the growth in this area has been explosive. It seems like every time I drive on it, they have done more and more to it. But it's treacherous to drive on in an RV because the lanes are shifting around and changing, and it just scares the heck out of me. then I stopped by my dad's place and I picked up my scooter. I had just had my scooter serviced because I'm going to get ready to start traveling again, and I wanted to have that taken care of. So I didn't have it with me. I stopped, picked it up at my dad's, and then drove all the way down into this little town called Salem. So it's mostly just freeway driving. Fortunately, I got there and he was able to see me right away, and it turns out that one of the LED lights that I had above my bed had gone bad. It's going to be a mess inside. Everything, you know, things fall around when you travel, and but everything has functioned just flawlessly. This is literally the first weird thing that has shown up, and it's really, put that down there for now, come on in. So it's just a fuse, and it literally just happened a couple days ago. So underneath the seat over here, where the fuse block is, I've changed a lot of things since you've seen it last. So I suspect it's the components that go to the lights in the back and the fan. So it wasn't like anything major, but fan I had been noticing had been, it's an old fan, right? It always been a little bit wonky, but it suddenly just was like
jumping all over,
and then it just died, and and then I noticed the light wouldn't go on, so I checked the fuse and it was blown. And I don't have it, but it's just typical
standard fuse.
I've got a light here too.
Okay, I guess I can go grab mine inside too.
And so I didn't have an extra fuse, so I actually, so the fuse block, the one that's out.
Oh yeah, it's the one that keeps blowing.
So now it only blew twice. It blew that one time, right? And so I pulled out one of the other ones, the next one right there, and I just put it in to see what would happen, and it blew immediately.
So it's definitely going.
So the other thing that I noticed is that when I went back there, I could smell like a slight smell of like burnt plastic. And I noticed that it was coming from the light that I had this LED in, and you can you smell that?
Oh yeah, this is fried for sure.
So I don't know if
it's the fixture then. I was thinking it was going to be your fan motor.
Well, that's what I thought, right?
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're good. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So the fan up here.
It was this light here.
No. It was the light over here above the bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all part of the same circuit.
Okay.
So that's where the smell came from, right?
Okay.
And then because I was smelling it, and I took it out and I noticed that it seemed like this was an expensive LED.
Yeah,
right?
I know, they're not cheap. They're not.
And I got good, high quality LEDs. I didn't get cheap Amazon ones, right? This was like $8 a piece. And everyone, all of them have functioned fine. So I don't
even after taking that out,
I haven't tried to put a new fuse in,
well,
dude. I'm like scared, right?
Let me go grab. I got a bunch. Let me grab a couple.
I've got some extra one. I just matched. I got a 15 amp fuse and put it in there.
Okay.
But I haven't tried since then to put in. And we took it out and replaced one of the old original bulbs in its socket and put the fuse back in, and it didn't blow the fuse, and the circuit worked normally. So he says, it looks like your LED went bad, and he says what happens is the contact has probably gotten messed up and it was causing a short circuit, which was blowing the fuse. That's as best I can remember. I don't know, I'm not an electrician. But he smelled it. He says, oh yeah, because the LED light itself smelled like it was like burned, right? So anyway, that's probably what it was. That's totally gone away now. I put another LED that I moved from one location to another back in its place, and it's working right now. So that's what I did today, and you know, the day in the life of being a nomad and dealing with small issues like that. So anyway, thanks for watching.